This is LWOD Changeling venue. Today, Christian Dubois, Squire Christian Dubois, has returned to the Freehold of Manhattan, the Freehold of Shimmering Dreams. He's had what he considers a very productive meeting with William earlier today, and he's now entering the Freehold and walking the halls.
Alice will come around the corner. She is currently in a set of jeans and a loose-fitting t-shirt. She spies him as soon as he's entering the freehold, and then walks over to a corner, motioning for him to follow.
Christian's entered the freehold. He's wearing his armor and he's carrying his helmet under one arm. When he notices Alice, he gives her a strange look and then moves to follow her. Forgive me for saying, but it appears you were waiting for me.
I was. I stopped needing to wait for you just a little bit ago.
He's looking down at Alice from his height. He's looking like he's thinking of what to say to her, and then he finally says, I regret that I did not attend your wedding.
You do?
He rolls his eyes. It was an important occasion for the Baron Sebastian and for yourself, and I felt my presence was not desirable. A pity, perhaps I did not. Perhaps I might have prevented some of the bloodshed that evening.
I'm not even going to worry about that part. It's not whether you could have prevented anything. It's not whether you could have mitigated it. It's... You were part of the official security detail. At least technically. You are still a squire under Sebastian's service.
Technically, perhaps this is so. Perhaps I was even negligent in not attending.
You still have an issue with me.
Raises one golden eyebrow over a sapphire eye inquisitively.
Why else did you avoid the wedding?
I do not understand. I told you why I did not attend.
No, you told me that you felt it was an auspicious event that your presence would not be good for. I'm asking you why.
Hmm. To that I will say, I do not feel that I am a friend of yours, Alice, nor am I a friend of those who you claim to be or claim as friends. It was your day, your occasion. I did not mean to mar it in any way. I understood that William would have been in attendance if he had said something I did not agree with. Perhaps I would have taken action that would have cast a pall over the evening. I could not foresee that the wedding would come under direct attack. To slaughter wedding guests undefended is a shocking act of cowardice.
Sorry, my wife came in. We were waiting on some news. One moment. Sorry, I just need you to say that line again. I do apologize.
Starting starting from where?
The last thing I heard before I had to look up was it was your day, and that was it.
Okay. He said it was your day, a day of love, a celebration, and I did not wish to cast a pall over it. I understand that William would have been in attendance. He is a friend of yours. He was there the day I came to this city. I believe you even introduced me to him. Uh, I felt unwelcome, but more than that, I could not have foreseen that there would be an attack against the wedding party, that these ranters, as William calls them, would slaughter guests at a wedding defenseless. Is a shocking act of cowardice.
She crosses her arms in front of herself, waiting to see if he has any more to say. And while she's looking at you, I'm going to make a what's known as perception plus empathy roll. You'll hear it often called P&E. And she's just trying to determine whether or not he is being honest and truthful, or if there are other emotions present as well. Like, I shouldn't say honest truth, though. She's checking for sincerity, or if there's something else present. So making that roll. And I got one success on that roll. So is he at least being sincere, or would you like to make a attempt to like cover it up, or
Excuse me, sorry, I didn't realize I was still muted there. No, he's being sincere in what he says to Alice. He's not covering anything up, but perhaps based on their last personal interaction, it may be justified that she's skeptical.
great. So what you're telling me is our personal interactions kept you away from your duty.
Now he's standing just a little bit taller, looking down his nose slightly. I will remind you that this is an assumed duty, not one that was requested of me. by your lord husband. And furthermore, I will remind you not to insinuate that I disregard my duty in any way without first arming yourself.
What I was trying to figure out is where you stand and what I was going to have to say next to you on the topic. I'm sure you've heard about Baron Isidore's duel requirements.
He huffs slightly, pushes a strand of hair from his face. Yes, do you know how I know of this?
I believe I do.
He just waits, like, for an explanation.
Well, there's two ways. Because I know you're not completely cut off from society. You had to have heard the official proclamation. And the second part is you went to talk to William.
I see. You are very informed, if unless you are making a guess, but it is true that I come from this freehold of Paul Hare. I, I come from William's freehold. I speak to him. He tell me the story of this duel in its entirety.
Clearly, I'm not well informed enough. I didn't realize you went in person.
A surprise to you, myself, and William, I am sure, but yes, I took this initiative. I spoke to William in this freehold, which to mine own eyes had been bombed out, as I would say, describe it. It was rubble, it was destroyed. William showed me some things, some records that were taken by this Boggin. Um, Troubling accusations. His accusations were always troubling, but I never, well, it was too easy to dismiss them as the rantings of commoners, shall I say.
And is that something you normally do?
Dismiss the ranting of commoners. Well,
Not that.
when they'd start demanding baronies, you know,
Talking to William, I didn't mean the rantings of commoners.
I have not spoken to him since our duel. I thought for a long time I had no reason to speak to him, only to passively accept that he was the victor in our duel, although, and he sounds a little petulant, although I do not consider it a duel well won. He was the victor nonetheless in honorable combat.
Then why'd you go speak with him now?
Because I fear for the commoners. I do not fear for myself. I am a Fiona, I am a warrior, but I fear for those who follow William, perhaps to a bad end.
So you don't approve of his actions?
Nor do I approve of the Baron Isidore. I do not approve of all of either of them wholly. And yet, of the two, who is accused of more atrocity?
So what are you going to do?
He smirks down at you. Oh, why are you suddenly so interested in what Squire Christian Dubois de Fiona does?
Ever since you became part of my husband's retinue.
Have I done this? And he's still smirking. I do not recall that the words of oath have left my lips. What loyalty I owe Sebastian come from the goodness of my heart and my intention. He offer me hospitality. I honor his wishes.
So what you're telling me is, in your heart, you don't feel like you're a member of his court.
He just tilts his head, sort of affirming that statement.
So why are you staying in Manhattan?
Why should I not stay in Manhattan? Should I go stay with Baron Isidore, I'm certain he would offer me hospitality as well. And that is insincere, by the way.
Because you're not being honest with me. Or at least not with yourself. You say that you don't feel welcome, but then you say that you owe us some sort of debt to Sebastian. Then you talk about not being beholden to anyone. I think you need to ask yourself, which is it?
He nods his head. He's in agreement with that. He says, it is a fair question, and one I have asked myself many times, particularly since the duel, and since your lord husband stripped me of my title. Perhaps he was justified to do so, but I would have fought for the death to him. Now, he shrugs. As you say, I owe him a debt. If he wished to swear me into his retinue, that is a matter for consideration. But all that I have endured, I have done so for love of our society.
A love of whose society?
Perhaps that is a question you should ask yourself.
I can't answer questions for you.
I did not intend for you to. Uh, what I mean to say is, you are wed to a noble, a baron. We, if nothing else, are traditional. Will you support the society of the nobility? I wonder this.
The difference between you and me is I don't see a difference in either society.
I have not made a determination on this point for myself as of yet. I question many things, but I question the fallibility of at least this Baron Isidore. A barony within a Fiona kingdom that has fallen into disrepair, is a mark against the kingdom and ultimately against the Queen Mab.
It's interesting you brought up Queen Mab. This situation, I guarantee Concordia's eyes are watching us.
He smiles. Yes, I guarantee that they are. We must all step carefully. And yet, I am convinced, at least as of now, that the troll William does represent the interest, at least, of safety of the lowest members of our society, although he would most likely argue that there are no lowest member of society with the Kithain. But kings and queens differ.
But do you differ?
He shifts his jaw around thoughtfully, and then he looks at you again. What do you think I am? Do you think I will stand idly by as the weak are ridden down in the streets?
I think you're someone who I don't know how they define weak, how they define other people. I don't look at you and see someone who I know where their heart lies or what their dreams are or even where they're going. If Concordia were to come tomorrow, where would you stand? I don't know. If Isidore were to offer you power or wealth or Prestige. I know you'll go there.
He's drawing back from you when you say that, like that's something of a slap in his face. You believe I would support and champion a baron I believe to be corrupt, to be, as William says, although I do not agree with every word he says, a tyrant for the
No,
sake of advancement, for what?
no, but that only helps him in the short term. So I'm curious what you're going to do in the long term. William William thinks nothing's going to happen. I think something's going to happen.
I think something as well will happen. However, I am resolved to do what I can to stand between that, whatever that is, and the well-being of the Fae of New York City, or of any kingdom. It would grieve me to cross blades with, say, a Fiona Knight, but be it in defense of the life of a commoner, I would stand between the two. Perhaps that is all I can do in this situation, is to, if not be a sword, then to be a shield.
This county's going to change. One way or another, everything's going to change.
He grunts a little bit. William asked too much. He will provoke a violent response from the crown. This I foresee, although I am no soothsayer. Although I am no great gamesman, this I foresee. And yet, this challenge to the Baron Isidore remains. Perhaps this will be the event which starts the conflict. For my part, I attempt to cut the head off of this matter by challenging William myself, but I fail in this endeavor. Perhaps I was fated to.
And you thought challenging William, challenging him, was going to fix anything.
He glances down at his feet, smirking. I had already decided to challenge him before I became aware of his how I saw them slights against the Lady Iona. These comments finally drive me to the point of fury, and I act unwisely. Challenging William, I believe at the time I could have won, and if he is an honorable troll, as I have no cause to suspect otherwise, they are an honorable kith, bound to such. Uh, Had I won, perhaps this would not be an issue.
Oh, it'd
Perhaps
still be an
William.
issue.
Well, William would have had to shut his mouth. Perhaps that would have.
Done nothing and allowed the ranters to get all the support?
Hmm.
Or push more people to join the ranters because the symbol, one of the largest symbols of resistance, was silenced by an upstart arriving knight in their minds? Someone who wasn't even a local to New York originally.
As I say, we are traditional and we are bound to tradition. William insulted me. He insulted the nobility from which
You've
I
insulted me.
stand for.
Should
And
I
he
demand
ins-
satisfaction and set you on fire?
that just makes him raise an eyebrow.
Should I challenge you to a duel? Should I set harsh terms and conditions if you lose? Tell me what any of that solves right now in this circumstance.
In this circumstance, you sorry, are you just out of character? Are you referring to the challenge against Isidore or the challenge Christian made to William?
You would have to make a roll then to figure that out because she has left that deliberately vague.
P and E.
I would say perception plus subterfuge.
Oh, that's lovely. I have 0 dots of subterfuge. Uh, I'm so used to another program.
It's just /R space the number D and then the number 10.
So just rolling perception then, because he has no subterfuge.
If you look at the roll I made, it actually shows you the exact syntax.
Yeah, I see that now.
Yeah, there's other syntax you can mess with. I haven't mastered that either, so.
Okay,
Two successes.
7 and 6.
She is leaving it deliberately up to you so that she can get a read on you.
He just takes a deep breath through his nose like he's calming himself. Actually, when he entered the freehold, it may be noteworthy that he was smiling, but now he's not. He's trying to get back to that place. He's got a faint smile on his lips. With regards to the Baron Isidore and this current challenge, it may gratify you, it may not, to know that William and I have come to a mutual understanding.
That's what I already knew. What I'm trying to understand is why you keep going back to it's traditional. I'm Sealy too. Duels are important. But duels don't solve everything. If someone insults you, demanding a duel immediately? Traditionally, people who declared duels before had a second. The job of the second was to try to negotiate a peace before the duel went through. So if we're talking tradition, that's more traditional than anything else. Resolving conflict without having to resort to blows. Diffusing misunderstandings. My entire kith, we love to fight to get to know people. And it does allow you to learn a lot about a person. But that's a fight. That's way different from even a duel. Duels are a little formal for my kith. Sometimes an informal solution works better.
He nods. I acknowledge that I did not follow all of the forms of tradition. If I had done so, I would have first notified the Baron Sebastian of my
Mm-hmm.
challenge in the first place. I would have asked his permission for the duel to be held in his freehold. There are a lot of things I would have done differently if I had thought of it in the moment, but I can only say that in the moment I was enraged. I did not give full thought to what the uh, the specifics of the challenge I made. Let us say.
Mm-hmm. And you give a lot of excuses.
Hmm. You ask me for answers, and I give them to you.
You're giving me excuses, not the answer.
Then pray repeat the question.
What does your tradition solve? Or if you want, what it really means is, what does applying one tradition as your go-to answer solve? The honest
Hmm.
answer is nothing.
He nods. My challenge to William did solve nothing.
And even if you had won, it would have solved nothing. Win or lose, it would not have fixed the problem.
My honor was satisfied. That is the only outcome I can make. I certainly would have liked to win the contest, but
Please don't take this the wrong way, but I don't think your honor was actually salvaged by that duel.
would you care to explain?
She lets out a deep sigh. You didn't ask permission before fighting in the freehold. It would have been different if you had held a duel outside of it, different story, but still problematic because you should probably ask permission from the Baron, the Knight, whoever's in charge of wherever you're going. Or if it's a group of commoners who own the establishment, the commoner, it doesn't matter whether they're noble or not. That's a mark against you. You were new in town. And that's just in general. In some ways, the duel cost you more honor than you regained. Why are you a squire instead of still a knight, if you had the full breadth of your honor?
Perhaps your husband would say because I did not follow the tradition which I cite so often.
Which is part of your honor, from everything you've told me. We're Seelie. Death before dishonor. That's death before any dishonor.
I was prepared to die in our duel with William, and forgive me for saying this, but I was surprised that your husband did not uh, stand behind me in my challenge. William insulted every noble in this city, in this kingdom. I, from my point of view, I was just the only one who was courageous enough to stand against him.
They didn't feel that the insult actually impunged their honor.
Hmm. Well, I will say this is a Fiona kingdom. At one time, this was a Fiona barony, and
Is it a Fiona barony anymore?
no,
So do your rules apply?
honor applies.
And this is where our conflict comes in. Because I want to know, and this goes back to my earlier wedding question, are you impugning my husband's honor? Or are you just unhappy? Because if you're unhappy or you don't respect him, that's one thing. You don't have to. There's no rule that says you have to.
How have I impugned his honor by standing forth to fight, in my estimation, for the protection of his honor?
No, you said you were doing it because this was once a Fiona kingdom, once a Fiona barony. You felt that all the nobles were impugned.
And this include the Baron Sebastian. I have,
You're giving me a lot of generalities. I'm asking in specific.
you ask me if I respect your husband?
No, I'm just asking if you're impugning his honor. Because I don't care if you respect him or you like him or you hate him. You're not married to him. At the end of the day, you're not sworn to him, you said. So what does it matter? All that matters is the honor part, right?
I do not impugn his honor, although it is my opinion that he cast my sword aside too easily.
So give me a straight yes or no answer.
Then no.
Was that so hard?
He sighs.
You answer a lot of questions with questions. Or give divergent examples. I'm a Clurichan. I like it straightforward.
Hmm. Then I will be straightforward. I believe the Baron Sebastian is a young lord, but I have no reason to believe he is a bad lord. I have, however, reason to suspect that the Baron Isidore is not a worthy lord, and for this reason I have sought out William. We have come to an understanding, and I have agreed not to represent this Baron, this Isidore, should he have asked me to. He has not asked me to, but I have decided not to.
That's not where I was going with this.
Then what do you want from me?
I said it earlier, but you weren't listening. I don't know you. And so I'm trying to figure it out.
He just opens his arms in a shrug. I am not a difficult man to know.
You are.
He's just looking at Alice expectantly. He's almost got like a look of, can I go now on his face?
You know, for as rude as you are to me, as absolutely terribly rude as you are, as much as you claim to care, as much as you don't like people insulting you because that throws all your honor out the window. I don't hate you. However, I believe that at some point, by being alive, everyone deserves some degree of respect. I respect your position as a noble. I respect your desire to uphold the Sealy Code as best you see fit. I cannot compel you to respect me any more than I could. Okay, that was going to be a bad example because I know some people who can make rocks fly. As I could command, I don't know, rocks to turn into bread. However, I am going to ask as nice as I can for your sake. Try to show other people a modicum of respect, even if they don't respect you. And you might find doors opening.
He's just looking down at Alice. Finally, he sighs. Is that all you wish to discuss with me?
There is one more thing. We have a lot of work going forward. Certain things are going to be happening. This barony is going to be undergoing some changes. Baron Sebastian and I are working on improving the situation. And that means good relations need to be maintained with certain groups. Since you're not, by your own words, sworn, who do you serve? Your house? The barony? Yourself? Did you join William? Some other party I haven't named? Who do you serve?
I serve as I am needed. I serve the Kingdom of Apples. I am sworn to Queen Mab as surely as I was sworn to Queen Lauren in the Kingdom of Northern Ice. I have nothing against the rulership of most of the barons that I have become aware of in New York City. Um, I would not say I have joined William, although we have come to an understanding that we previously lacked, perhaps a mutual respect. Would I be honored to swear fealty to Lord Sebastian? I do not know. He has shown himself perhaps to be decisive when needed, but I would not, on my honor, conspire against him. Shrugging.
So, who are you sworn to then?
I was sworn to a lord who commanded me to bring him honor in the foreign kingdoms. I released from that vow in order to facilitate that, but I leave behind much, perhaps you do not know, to come here and do this duty, this last requirement. I come seeking glory, and if I were to leave now, I would have found no glory and, in fact, lost honor. I cannot let the scales stand as they are.
All right. I think I understand that you see yourself as a free agent operating inside the Manhattan Barony. Am I wrong?
He shrugs, smirking again. You are not wrong, but it come as a surprise to me that no oath of fealty were asked. Would I have sworn one in exchange for hospitality? I do not know. I would
Okay.
say when I came to this city, I was a knight of House Fiona. I sought glory. Uh, Perhaps this will be in my future. And just at that, he looks thoughtful, but also he's smiling again.
All right. So, is your heart with your house?
Actually, hey, do you mind if I just pause for 1 minute?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, back.
One moment. All right. For your knowledge, I had just gotten a thing from Lindsay because I was trying to get a roll with her on something. You are sworn to Sebastian. Hello? Did I unmute properly?
Hi, sorry, I'm back now.
Okay. So you know, I was talking with Lindsay because I wanted to make a roll to make sure that she, like she knew something about what you were saying was true. You are sworn to act Sebastian.
Oh, well,
Even though
see,
no scene was ever done, when they told you that you had now become, he had become your liege and could demote you. Remember the scene where I don't know if you ran a personal scene or they just told you or what happened with that, but when you got demoted, that can only happen if you are sworn to someone in the noble chain of
okay.
command.
So
Like a
I
ran,
guess I made a mistake there.
yeah, King David himself, if he came down from on high, could not demote you. I don't think because you wouldn't have a direct oath to him.
That's interesting. Well, I actually wasn't aware that it had been blue booked that way. I just thought nobody got around to doing it with me. But hey, if that's the case,
If you want to run with it, where his heart is with House Fiona,
as an outsider, that's sort of how I've been playing it in my head, at least.
and that's fine. If you want to keep playing him as like, even though he's sworn to him, he feels more of a calling to his own house. That's actually going to make this scene more interesting, especially when I think I just botched. Yes, I
Oh,
know you see a lot of successes there, but
I don't see a one.
I have two hanging botches on me from something else. So this could end up being one of them. That's why I've been in constant contact with what we've been talking about in any roles we make.
Okay. Well, that's pretty close to what I was thinking, and it would kind of flip the scene a little bit if we retconned it, so I'm fine with it. I don't think he really thinks Sebastian's done anything to garner his true loyalty.
All right.
What was that role?
That's an in plus politics role.
Okay. And pertaining to what? Do I have to answer that, or
I'm getting a ruling from Carol because if Carol says that, if the SC says that my role is bad, is going to be the botch, then that's going to throw our entire scene into super disarray with both of those things, and it's going to be hilarious.
Oh, good. I thought we were already in disarray, but
Oh no, it's going to be even more.
we're going off the rails on the Changeling train. So you're just waiting for a ruling?
Yeah, Lynn. Sorry. The STs are giving me a ruling right now. They've been typing it up.
Okay.
But if it's not a bot, if it is a botch, then she won't know you're lying.
Well, to my knowledge, he hasn't lied about anything.
Here comes the ruling is botch.
Yay!
Alice will suddenly clench her fists. So this entire time, you've been here with no offer of fealty, no nothing. You asked for hospitality. You've been insulting me.
He just, his head tilts back slightly, mm, with an expression of a what on his face.
So you're just using us. Your loyalties to your house. Okay. I get it. I mean, I expect nothing less from an honorless dog.
He says, he repeats,
Sorry, repeats what? You cut out.
yeah, I did.
Uh, you're cutting out again.
Am I still cutting out?
Okay, you're good now. You're good now.
Yeah, what you just said, like the last in character statement, I didn't hear.
Okay, then she said, "Oh, then I expect nothing less from an honorless dog using us, not even offering, just expecting the way you've treated me. Oh, it all makes sense now.
He's looking defensive but uncertain, still almost leaning back on his heels. Uh, I warn you against once already.
I'm armed. What about you?
He's wearing his long sword and dagger at his hips, and also his armor. He's got his helmet under his shoulder.
She has a long sword at her side, now that he's looking carefully.
He just shrugs. I do not understand why you say this to me, but you have made one challenge against me already, which I disregard. I warn you again, and now you persist.
Shove your fucking warnings.
Then I will once more bid you adieu, my baroness. And he starts walking away.
I didn't know members of House Fiona were cowards.
Reminiscent of that old scene, he turns around on his heel. You truly wish to provoke me, do you not?
No, I'm challenging you. Name your weapons. And if you have the courage, let's do it now.
He's looking more thoughtful, like, wow, maybe I really have offended this person.
I am demanding satisfaction. Name your terms.
He takes a deep breath. Uh, if you would have me now, draw your sword. And I will test your skill.
You're going to be eating those words.
He, with a look of resignation, he draws his long sword.
She will draw her own, but I need to know something real quick. Just real quick. That is chimerical plate mail, right? That's not treasure.
No, it's she plate, which is chimerical.
Okay. I just need that like for clarification to make sure she is only seeing it in the chimerical world, not in the gray world as well. So that is actually very important to what I'm armed with. Thank you.
Ominous.
Ominous indeed, perhaps. So she is. Oh crap! Really? One moment. Sorry.
No worries, I've held you guys up many times.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, sorry, it was a one of those robocalls. Anyways, she's standing there, and
I guess it's initiative, right?
yes, we are on initiative. And this would not have gone to a duel except for the fact that I botched on a 5 success roll.
Well, we can't overstate the fact that Christian's an asshole.
True, but she wouldn't have gone for a duel. She was about to let him walk away, and then she well, things happen. All right, so you add Dex and Wits and add your die, so it's just a D10.
I got 13.
All right, you get to go first. So we're at top of round 1.
Okay, so
I'm gonna
we've
just keep
both
track of
drawn.
the rounds in the corner here.
Round 1, fight. Christian, I guess, drops his helmet on the ground and takes a lunge forward with his sword. Not the flying vertical sword smash that he tried against William. It didn't end well for him, but just a basic thrust slash sort of maneuver.
Okay. She is going to declare a
Parry.
no. She's going for a dodge. She is going to gracefully slide away.
Okay.
All right. Drive. Sorry, I'm bringing up the combat rules right now because I did not expect this to. You said it wasn't going to go to combat, and then here we are.
One botch later.
One botch later, right? That's how it works. Combat. LWOD combat guide. Thank you. Anyone watching this is going to be bored to tears of us. Let's see. You are doing an attack roll with it's a longsword, right?
Yep. Oh my god. I missed.
It's only
But,
diff.
like, that's a fail.
Well, she is dodging, so I have this. And she gracefully, deftly is out of your way. Avoiding the attack easily.
He swings his sword where Alice was standing a moment ago, and then turns his gaze on where she is standing now, a moment later, well out of reach of his long sword. He looks impressed. Like, he probably just thought he was gonna come across the room and kill you, but
Yep. So all she did was that fancy sidestep, putting it on his round.
is it my attack again?
Attack. You can use something tactical. You can technically try to taunt her if you think your manipulation's good.
Would that be like a feint?
Feints are. I don't think they have feints in this one. I know that there's taunt. Taunt is manipulation plus intimidation, and it reduces your opponent's dice pool, helps get them down on stuff. But otherwise, it's you could try to read your opponent, which is perception plus trait, to adding dice to the next action you perform. You can try to do a combo action where you split your dice pool between attack and defense, or you can keep pressing her.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna come in with another attack, but this time he's gonna lead with a Gee, can you do a leg sweep with a melee weapon?
Leg sweep? No. Uh, but they do have a sweep maneuver, which is Dex plus Brawl. Diff 8, and it will knock your opponent to the ground.
Brawl, huh? I was thinking like pick the ankle with the sword hilt, but if that's not a maneuver, like he'll actually come in and go low with a hamstring.
You're going for a hamstring with your sword. Okay.
That's diff 9.
It is, yes, diff 9 with a melee. Damages strength plus cripple. But you have to call. Are you going for the biped or quadruped?
Oh, you can heal that, can't you?
If you have someone with healing powers, yeah, anyone can heal that.
Well, he's trying to take her speed away from her by going for the leg. Uh,
All right. So.
I'll just roll it.
Oh, I get it. So, roll it.
That's a valid maneuver, right?
Yeah, I know. Hamstrings are a valid maneuver.
Yeah. That's a better roll. So if it's diff 9, that's 1 success.
1 success. All right. You have successfully. I'm not calling a dodge. But I'm going to just take it. Give me your strength plus, because I didn't call a dodge when you made this thing, so I wasn't thinking. But make a strength plus cripple roll. So it's just roll your strength.
Just strength, not plus weapon.
Oh, that says with melee. That says animal form maneuvers. Forms enough for group character. Thought you could it said with melee, so I assume you can do it. Yeah, it would be it just said strength. It didn't say weapon plus anything, so I'm not sure. I guess that would be an ST rolling.
I can just roll strength.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know on this system.
Hey, neither do I.
Okay, so we're on round 2 for anyone
That's
watching.
2 if it's diff 6.
Yeah, it's always diff 6 for damage rolls. And so it's lethal. I cannot soak lethal in wait, is that chimerical sword?
Yeah, it's
I'm in a
chimerical.
freehold. I can soak that. Let's see what happens.
All of Christian's gear is chimerical.
Okay. I soak it. So you manage to get her in the back of the leg, so you only knock her down, but no damage as she goes prone, landing on her back. She is going to take a reflexive action, and she's going to put on a wedding ring. And then, as she goes down, her hand goes to where you slashed at her, and she will actually purposely cut her hand along the length of your blade. I am going to say she takes a unsoakable level of lethal because she's doing it on purpose to cut her hand.
Okay, I guess you're doing a bunk.
And yes, and she says, "Burn, you bastard." And I would like to know, would you like to, what would you personally say? Because you are the receiving end of this. What level bunk would you give that? We can only give up to a -2 and without a storyteller present.
Probably a -2, like you took the damage.
Okay, then she is going. Then at that point, I am now rolling because I'm crazy. 10 dice. I replace 5. I'm going to lower the difficulty by another one because she's going to take 3 more nightmare dice. So I have 2 normal dice and 8 nightmare dice for this roll.
I thought he said long swords.
Let's see here. That would be. I don't, and so that replaces it. I only get those 3 nightmare dice for this roll, I believe. Just double checking. Nightmare. Yeah. So they just add nightmare dice if I get 10s on them. So I'm gonna roll the not nightmare dice first, because these can't turn into nightmare. I got -3, diff is 8, -3, so that's 5. 5 success, diff 5, so I have 1 success on that. I am using so she was setting you on fire with Pyretics 1, just so you know. Kindle. So you're not actually going to burn to death. Technically.
That's good to know.
But it does increase the difficulty of all your rolls due to distraction discomfort by 1. For a number of turns equal to how many successes she gets.
Okay. I'm just glad I'm not burning to death right now.
Yep, she's not using you are right. You did not specify no arts though. She's just not going to kill you with arts. And don't worry, no one can unleash. We don't have an SD. So that's difficulty there. What is the last one? That's 8d10. Oh, no more extra nightmare dice. That's nice. That's 1, 2, 3. Pretty much for the rest of the fight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. You are going to be burning until round 9. So it's only a +1 difficulty. But that puts it on you. Your action.
Is she still like on the ground, or did she get up?
She is. I am actually going to say that she is up, unless you have a way to keep her down as a movement action.
That's just no. Like, I mean, he failed with the hamstring, but I just thought reflexive action.
Yeah, I mean the SCs can tell me later if you have to deal damage or not to succeed at it. I'm not sure, but
okay. Feeling slightly hot under the plate mail as he begins sweating profusely. Christian, nevertheless, increases his grip on his long sword and tries to just go for broke with a great blow, like an overhand chop.
Okay. Going for an overhand chop, great blow, you said. Great blow is dex plus melee, and it's
+2, I think.
+1 only. +1.
Oh.
And if you succeed in hitting, it does 2 extra damage, and I can't take any more. I cannot take defensive actions that turn.
No, I thought that was only if it were a stun.
That's the stun effect. So.
Okay. So I'm down 1 die.
Or is that you can't take defensive actions? I think that's his damage effect. Okay, never mind. All right, I'm declaring I am going to declare the split action of dodging and attacking, and you, because she put on her ring, are going to need to make a roll, I believe, to attack her.
It's a grandeur effect.
Grandeur effect, yeah. I don't remember if it's a roll or
willpower, isn't it?
Uh, yes, you have to spend the willpower to attack her.
Um, gee, that's interesting. He actually aborts the initiative and takes a step back, although he was moments away from carrying through with the attack he intended.
So he's not going to spend the willpower?
No, and he's not going to attack.
What action are you going to take then? You have the initiative.
Just a defensive action.
Okay, you're going to declare defense? Cool. Then in that case, she is going to, on her action, she is going to, let's see, so make sure I'm doing this right for what I'm about to do. She is going to then,
I guess just technically he's yielding the initiative in this case.
um, she is going to declare a disarm maneuver on him.
Okay, is that resisted dex melee?
If you want to declare, if you're doing your defense, yeah, you can do a parry defense melee to try to block it.
Yeah, I guess I'll do parry.
Okay.
Two.
1, 2, 3. And now I roll damage, so its damage is melee because I'm.
I think a long sword is a +3 sword.
Yes, it is a +3, so that is a mere 5 right now. Let's see how that works out. One success, I assume you have a higher strength than 1.
3 strength.
Yeah, you're able to hold on to the blade as she tries to disarm you.
Because he doesn't have his helmet on, and the two of them have just crossed blades, they're probably standing quite close together. And although he was looking uncertain for a moment, and sweat is continuously pouring down his chin, like just dripping off of his chin, matting his luxurious mane of golden hair to his scalp and to his armor, he just tries to just shove her off with his superior strength. Like, I guess that's actually a brawl maneuver.
Okay, that puts us on round 3.
So it's like a takedown. I don't know.
All right, so he's trying to what? Immobilize her, or I'm confused what you're trying to do.
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining that they're like locked sword to sword right now.
And if you're trying to push her back, there is a maneuver for that. There you could do a body slam, which is Dex plus Brawl.
Oh, yeah, I'll try to do that.
Do you? Oh wait, do you have at least 3 dots of Brawl?
No.
Damn, you cannot.
Okay.
Um,
Well, you know what he can do is sword puncher.
with his fist. Yeah.
Well, with
Punching.
the pommel, like a pommel strike.
I don't think they have a
I think that's.
pommel strike specifically on
I thought that
here.
was weapon bash.
There is weapon bash, yes. So going for a weapon bash is actually, it's diff +1, so dex plus brawl.
Diff 7, I guess.
It's 8 for you because you also have another +1 from her, Kindle.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that reduce my dice pool or just make my difficulties higher?
It reduces your damage by 1 and turns it into bashing.
I mean the pyretics effect that Alice
No, it
cast
just
on
adds
him.
+1 difficulty, so that means your difficulty will jump to 8.
Okay. I thought it was a dice pool penalty, so I was
No,
rolling.
it's a difficulty bonus. That's why I kept saying difficulty.
Okay. Do Dex Brawl.
Dex brawl, yes. So you're at diff 8.
Oh, botch.
Botch.
Double botch.
Yeah, want to say that he just lost his weapon. Goes in for a punch and just loses his grip because they're just so close together. Because she was trying for a disarm originally. Or
Yeah,
did you
he
have something
can.
else that made sense?
Well, I mean, yeah, that works. Like,
Okay.
he has a moment of what the hell cross over his face as his sword goes flying up in the air.
That puts it on her, I guess. And she's going to declare then since he is completely disarmed, she is going to declare a no, that would be she's going for a great blow. And no, she's going for a great blow. Never mind. All right. I'm going to go for a great blow now. She is rolling to hit. Since you're open. Finally, she got only 1 success on that roll, but she gets +2 damage for striking. So you have all that massive soak in a second. That's probably going to soak this up.
Mm-hmm.
But that's 2 plus her strength. So that's 4 plus 70, 10. That's 2 successes. Roll the soak. Your difficulty is 7.
It applies even to soak.
When cast on a person, animal, or creature, the target incurs a +1 difficulty to all rolls.
Enough for me. I think I soaked it with 2 successes.
Yes, you did. Barely, though, as
Yeah.
she brings the blade down on you hard. With surprising force from what you expected from such a slight girl.
Right, that takes him by surprise. Like, losing his weapon, that was one thing, but the force she brings to bear actually that sparks off of his armor with just a slight blue flame off of the engraved silver ornate armor that he wears. But nevertheless, he turns away from the blow, takes it either on the shoulder or on his wrist guard somewhere, and lunges to make a grab for his sword, which is on the ground. So taking an action to do that.
All right. You get your weapon. On her action, she's going to activate another cantrip. What she does is, as you're diving for the ground, she has her blade, she lifts it up in her left hand at an angle and then slides her bloody palm across it so it's coated in her blood. And as soon as her hand comes down to the end, she snaps her fingers. To activate Pyretics 4 on it. Pyretics 4 is not Elder Form. That's wrong. Engulf, so that it will deal out aggravated damage to opponents.
That's one way to counteract the armor. Well, not the armor, but his stamina. So he makes a lunge for the sword, regains it, and resumes his stance when he sees the sword of Alice take fire.
Well, we'll see if it takes fire. What do you think the bunk rating for that would be?
Like, are you inflicting another level of damage on yourself?
No, she's just sliding the blood that she already got from her last level of damage on it.
In general, I kind of think blood magic is pretty substantial.
The fact that she was willing to take a lethal in the first place?
Yeah. I'd give it 2.
You'll give it 2? Okay. I'm going to leave it there at 2. I'm going to I have only 5 dice for this that are normal, and because I got lucky last time, I am not taking the. Nightmare dice are your friends. Nah, I'm gonna just leave it as is. So
Still don't have any of those.
no successes on the first roll, and a total botch on the second part. Somehow I've gotten no successes twice. So
Well,
she
that's a triple
botches.
botch, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm going to say
Spontaneous combustion.
I'm going to need to ask the STs real quick.
The botches continue. Like, while you're doing that, Christian isn't going to take an offensive action, but seeing that you're bringing cantrips into it, I think he's going to delve into that arena himself. And
yeah, I don't think she's going to be at her phone, but since I don't think we're going to be able to get them real quick, I'm going to say that she just lost her sword because and it's nowhere near her. Like, it's going to be at least 2 actions to get to, because the fire just launched it.
Okay, Christian, as much as he didn't anticipate losing his own sword, perhaps he'll invest in a weapon chain in the future. He looks at Alice as the Pyretics rockets her weapon across the entry hall to the freehold that they were standing in. And he'll take the opportunity to smirk at her and take several stances, cutting his sword through the air as he seems to become a blur. And I'll cast a bunk for Dragon's Ire 2, which I just recently bought.
Nice. I will say those sword stances will definitely be a good -1.
Yeah. All right. So 3, 4, 5. Difficulty, I guess 7. But I think that's 1 minute per success with confounding coils.
Yep.
And
I
just
believe so, but let me.
if
No,
you
1 round per success.
okay, if you don't mind, I'll actually have tossed time into that to just multiply that by 3 rounds.
So you have 3 rounds then, because you only have 1 success.
Yeah.
Because time increases the difficulty by 1. Though you're an Arcadian Fey, never mind. So that would be, you were at -1. Yeah, still 1 success.
Yep.
Okay, never mind. So 3 rounds. Okay. Well then, since it's going to come to the second half of the round, which is hers, since you didn't attack her, she's going to take a full round action, pulling out her egg and undergoing a magical girl transformation, completely Sailor Moon style. And now we're at the
Christian
top of the round again.
Christian's like perplexed in the extreme by this duel. It's not anything he's experienced before in many years of being a knight. But he'll make no move to stop her. He's just like he's just concentrating on buffing up right now if she's not coming after him. But are we on an are we on a new round now?
Yes, we are on round 5 because we are
Okay.
just botching like crazy. I cannot believe she has botched this much with her dice pools, but happens. So we are on round 5. Top of the round, what do you do?
Again, if she's not coming after him, like
Well,
running
your
across the
round
room
right
at
now,
him.
so she
Okay.
can't do anything yet. You have initiative.
All right. All right. I won initiative. Okay. He'll, in addition to throwing those stances and casting confounding coils, he'll also just how much distance would you say? Like, are they close enough to attack each other?
I would say that since he had to take a full round action to move away and grab the sword, that he is still in distance range because you also get a movement, So I'll say yeah, they're still in close range.
All right, he'll. I guess like he'll just center his stance and start squeezing on the hilt of his long sword, and he'll pull a full-on Dragon Ball Z power up. Yeah, basically as a bunk for burning few.
Okay. He is active, so he's still powering up.
Right.
All right. Give me your. I will say that's worth a -1. Screaming in the middle of the freehold. No, I'm gonna say -2 because he prides himself in being a noble's noble. You get a -2 on that one. Are you putting time on it before you roll?
I might as well, really.
Okay, you're putting time on it. Got it. So only a -2 then, instead of, well, I guess a -2. No real harm. So you're at diff 6.
Screaming in the freehold.
And you
That's
have
a
no nightmare
paddling.
dice, right?
Nope.
Okay.
No. So rolling 5 dice. Diff 6.
Yep.
Thinking of spending a glamour on that, but I'll just
You
roll it.
cannot spend willpower if you're thinking for extra successes when you're in combat. That's
No,
LWOD
I
rule.
mean, I said glamour as in to reduce the difficulty.
I thought you were talking about for something else. But I don't think you can spend glamour to reduce the difficulty. Bunk, Kith Affinity, Enchanted, in a freehold. You actually were in a freehold, so you're at -1 diff. Wouldn't have affected me, but it affects you.
Oh, Arcadian She bonus.
No, I didn't know this, but you get bonuses for freehold, so -1. So you're at 5.
All right, so
1, 2, 3.
so he actually got 2 successes on the confounding coil.
3, because it's diff 5, because it's minus an additional 1 for the
Yeah,
freehold.
that's right. So 9 rounds rather with the time realm.
Yep, 9 rounds of bonus strength.
And it's the same for confounding coil, I guess, because he used time as well.
So what is this for? So you have Burning Thew. Burning Thew is... Oh, you have to split between how much strength and how much duration. So you have 3 successes. How much goes into strength? How much into duration?
Well, with the time realm, how does that?
All right, so you spend your successes first. You get 1 round for free. So basically, you're on 3 rounds for free. Each success will add 3 more rounds because time, or each success will increase your strength by 1.
I guess I'll take +2 strength and 1 for duration, and throwing time on that, I'll get 3 rounds of it. Unless I...
No, you'll get 6 because you get a base free round of duration.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds good to me. So it's +2 difficulty to attack him for 9 rounds.
Yep.
And he gets +2 strength for 4 rounds.
Yep. No, for you multiply that free round and you multiply your success, so 6 rounds. All right.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Okay. So it's on her action now, and then she's going to attack you with a honeymoon kiss. She throws a burning heart at you that's burning in a yellow flame.
I guess I can't dodge that, can I?
Nope, because you used your thing powering up. So I only got... Let's see, you said it's +2 difficulty. She whiffed because you're diff 8 to hit. It goes wide as he just barely manages to get out of the way reflexively. Top of the round, it's you again.
He does like a Neo dodge almost, turning his shoulder as the heart goes streaking over, just close to his head, but not, no cigar.
Mm-hmm.
He resumes his stance, fully powered up, smirks at Alice, and then lunges in on the full attack with a great blow.
Okay. I am going to declare a dodge on that one.
I think I'm... Great blows diff 7, right?
Yes, so you're at diff 8. You get no successes. I'm rolling my dodge.
Oh, that's right.
She gets 1 success. So he goes in to jump at her again, but the pain is still distracting. And as he goes in, swinging his sword, she deftly sidesteps him.
Cutting air again for the second time, although with much more lethal intent than the first. He turns his head again towards the space Alice is now occupying, and he's got an invigorated look, I'll say, on his face, like he's taking pleasure in this somehow. And he just, although the sweat continues to pour off of him, he just continues on with the attack, bringing his sword from Again, another overhand chop to a horizontal slash.
Is it a regular strike, or are you declaring another great blow?
Just a basic attack this time.
All right. You are at diff 7. I am declaring a split action, however. I am declaring a defense and an attack. I am putting, because you have to use the lowest of the two values, I am putting 4 dice into defense, 3 into the attack, which is her ranged magical girl power.
I thought you could just do a parry and that does the same thing.
She could go for a parry if she had a sword.
Oh, that's right. I forgot she lost it.
Yep.
Okay. I'll roll
So
my
I'm just
attack.
declaring a dodge, but all right, roll your attack. You're at diff 7.
1 success.
And 2 successes as she, again, this time instead of sidestepping, you did a horizontal chop, slice through the air. She just leaned back gracefully as it goes in front of her face. And making my attack against him, it's still diff 8. And fires up, but misses while she's doing her back bend and coming back up. So that puts us at top of the round 8.
He throws the horizontal slash, crying out, "Yeah!" as he does so. And then as Alice dodges, he brings his sword around and does a cross cut with repeating the same attack but from a different direction.
All right, regular strike.
Yep.
She is going to take it. No dodge declared.
All right. I
And
did
you
better that
finally
time.
roll well to hit. 1, 2, 3,
I
4, 5.
also will say I have a specialty in long swords.
You should have been saying that. That's an extra. That turns your 10s into a second success.
I know, but I kept rolling ones, so it was subtracting them.
True.
But that's I should have. I forget things like that.
No, it's fine. It's that shoots you up to 6 successes. So you roll 6 plus weapon plus 2 for damage. Diff is 7.
Sorry, strength plus 3 plus
Strength plus we start off with this. Start rolls. It's strength plus your extra successes. You had 4 extra successes to hit her. I know 5 extra successes because I'm sorry, you had 6. I
4
forgot you have a
carry
specialty.
over.
So that would be whatever. So take your strength, add 5, add your weapon, add 2. So I know your strength was boosted with the cantrip. That's why I was just saying strength. Strength plus weapon plus 2 plus your 5.
Oh my.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But that is not enough to kill her.
Doesn't feel good.
No, and she's at 6 health levels of damage. Chimerical damage, of course.
Right. I guess you want to describe that.
Well, no, you successfully she stands there and takes it as you hack into her side, sword going straight between the ribs.
Seriously?
And then she places a hand against your chest. You can't escape this time. Also, don't forget you had to spend the willpower for that attack. So.
Oh, that's right too.
Yep. She is going to be activating Pyretics 4 again, Engulf, except this time she is targeting you. Inside your armor.
I'm sorry, I have to ask. Does she like have Oaken Shield or something active?
Nope.
Because that's 6 lethal.
Yep. And she's but she took a risk and she's activating Engulf on you.
Right, okay.
So that's a cantrip. And since it's not an attack, it's just a effect on you. I am going to ask, how do you like her bunk of taking the since she's using again, you're seeing a lot of blood magic here, and she has that bloody palm against your chest. Would you say that standing there and taking your hit would count as a bunk, or no?
Like, I don't know. Did she intend to take the hit?
She did, but it's up to you if you think that's a good enough bunk. It might not.
I don't know. Like, leaving yourself open to an attack to perform a cantrip. That might be 2.
Okay. Then I'm going to add 3 nightmare dice to the roll. I am going to. I'm in the freehold, so that's a -4. That drops my difficulty to 4. And that leaves me. First, I'm rolling the non-nightmare dice of 2 for Engulf. 1 success. Nightmare dice. Woo! I get another nightmare die. I'm up to 6. But that is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So for 7 rounds, you're going to be taking 1 ag. But since it's underneath your armor.
So he just bursts into flames.
Yep. With flames coming out of the armor. And at the top of the round, as her free voice action, I suggest you yield.
And his sword is still in her, or?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's assumed that you stabbed her and then you pulled it out. But I mean, like when she's saying it and you're pulling out, she says, I suggest you yield.
He starts to say, "My lady, this is the part where you fall down," after he inflicted that, by all accounts, mortal wound. And then he starts to feel the heat he already felt multiply and multiply until he starts smoking and feeling actual flames combust inside his armor against his skin.
So what does he do at the top of the round? That's all she could get in. I mean, like, you have initiative.
Huh. So he still would have to spend willpower to attack her even then.
Yep. And she's banking because after 3 attacks of that.
He, feeling the flames come from the joints of his armor, and actually at this point becoming visible to his eyes, even though he felt it, now he's seeing it. He takes a step back. Starts to scream and just in an act of pure will and survival, I think he's going to try to press on the attack.
All right. Spend the willpower. Huh.
He's like getting low on willpower. How many have I spent? Like,
You spent 3 for the first rounds of attack because it's a grandeur effect. So, yeah, each time. So, yeah, you've only spent 3 so far. This would be your 4th.
wow. Well, I mean, he only had the 3 willpower, so he'll have to stop.
Ah,
He'll have to,
does he yield then?
yeah, he'll have to take a knee and drop his sword.
She'll take her. She had 2 fingers pointed at him when she said yield. She'll then take them, snap with her left hand to end the flames. Never take advantage of Sebastian again. Someone get him a medic.
Hmm. Christian, not only having taken a knee as the flames have continued, although Alice may have stopped them, he's sunk lower than a knee and is more leaning on one hand as he's beating out the flames coming from the joints in his armor. I I admit defeat. I admit defeat.
And as soon as someone's coming to heal him of his 1 aggravated level of damage, she'll turn and she will. I'm spending a willpower for this. Walk away from him.
Christian is left in a heap, a smoking, smoldering heap. Uh, Being cooked in his armor, although not for a very long time, was enough to shake him of what will remain to him, although he was fighting willfully up until that point. He has no more wherewithal to press the issue and yields, just grateful to be attended to.
I think that's a good place to end scene.
Righto. Thanks for watching.